Most of us will probably still remember the 2008 market crisis. People lost their houses, millions lost their jobs, and economical instability reached a new peak which has never been seen before. As a result, people panicked and the world seemed to be going down. This sounds pretty bad, right? As contradictory as it may sound. But what if I tell you that some of the richest people today made their fortune during this seemingly hopeless and awful time, where some saw the end, others saw an opportunity? Welcome back to the Better Mind Department, the place where we forge unbreakable minds through the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and leaving a like. Humans are emotional beings. If the current situation is good, we are happy. If it is bad, we are sad. From a cognitive perspective, this makes completely sense. However, when dealing with everyday problems and issues, these emotions often stand in the way. They limit our capability to see things and problems as they really are. There's a huge difference between perceiving an issue and observing an issue. Perception is how we perceive an event at first glance. Subconsciously, we instantly categorize this event as good or bad. Perception is driven by emotions and can instantly change our mental state. An event is bad because we apply our judgment to it. We use our emotions and how we feel about it to decide what it is. Unfortunately, our emotions can be quite deceptive when trying to find useful solutions to our problems. Observation, on the other hand, deals with the event for what it really is, not how we feel about it. When observing an issue instead of perceiving it, you remove all of the emotional barriers, and the only thing that will be left is the truth. You can use all of your time and energy to actually solve the problem, instead of wasting it arguing what it may mean or how you feel about it. Good and bad are always objective. Know the difference between a perceiving eye and an observing eye. You are the one who decides if you like it or not. But why? Why keep these mental limitations of how you feel about it, instead of dealing with the issue directly? It's not things that upset us. It's our judgment about things. Let's get back to the story from the beginning of the market crisis. The rise in poverty didn't seem to stop. Real estate became practically worthless overnight, and political collapse was virtually foreseeable. For most of us, this sounds undeniably like a bad situation, without any doubts. Obviously, people panicked. Driven by fear and despair, millions sold their properties at a ridiculous price. And again, they were driven by emotions. While these people saw the end, others saw an opportunity. Real estate became suddenly much more affordable than ever before to invest in. In the following years, people made millions with these investments. Even though the situation was exactly the same for everybody. For some it was good and for some it was bad. Person A panicked, person B saw an opportunity. There is no general notion of good or bad. It's always up to us how we see it. Where some were blinded and distracted by their emotions, others removed their blindfolds and saw the event as it really is. They didn't see an awful market crisis and got scared. They saw a unique opportunity to invest in. There's always the event itself and the story we tell ourselves about it, what it means. Perspective can change everything. Stop being a slave of your inner impulses. Get rid of these limitations and become the best version of yourself. Technically, this is like a superpower. Where some are being shaken around by emotions, you remain untouched and firm, like a rock at the cliffs. The only thing emotions in the wrong situations do is turning bad things into really bad things. The goal, however, is not to turn into an emotionless robot without any feelings and any kind of empathy. At the end, we are still human beings. We can be happy or sad if we want, and it's totally okay. The goal is rather to think clearly in the right moments and seeing things as they really are, not how they seem to be. Don't let the force of an impression when it first hit you knock you off your feet. Just say to it, "Hold on a moment. Let me see who you are and what you represent. Let me put you to the test." Epictetus himself, today regarded as one of the greatest philosophers of all time, was born as a slave in complete poverty and misery. Even though he was being sold from one master to another, he always regarded himself as free, never as captive. His masters could take his food, they could take his clothes, or they could decide where he has to sleep. But never, under any circumstance, they could take his mind and his values. According to him, he has been free since the day he was born. And again, it is all a question of perspective. Let's say you're walking down a street. When arriving at your destination, you realize that you've lost $50 out of your pocket. You could be angry about this apparent bad situation. Or you could see this as an opportunity to improve. It could have been your phone you could have lost out of your pocket. But thanks to this incident, where you only lost some money, you will be prepared and ready for the next time and know how to improve. While others might have lost money, their phone, and got mad about it, you, on the other hand, benefited from the situation and learned something new. It is all about perspective. Okay, it is great to see events clearly for what they really are. But how do we get better at it? The best way to do it is just saying no. The next time you get overwhelmed by a hopeless seeming situation, just tell yourself, "No thank you, I don't want to panic right now." Because at the end, you are the only one in charge of how you feel about things. Another great way is to argue your emotions away with logic. Don't just ignore your feelings. Give yourself enough reasons why it doesn't make sense to feel emotional right now. Let's say you're on your way to work and your car suddenly breaks down. As expected, you get pretty upset about it. Just try to tell yourself, "But isn't it normal that a car will break down sooner or later after the years?" Well, actually, yes. Will this destroy your life? Not really. So why are you upset about something that was supposed to happen anyway? It sounds silly, but try to have these conversations with yourself to argue your jamming feelings away with simple logic. Furthermore, you can now totally focus on finding a solution to the problem. As if your car or the universe would care if you get angry about it. It's just wasted energy. But hey, don't be disappointed if you think that you are too sentimental or small-minded to think like that. Luckily, this can be trained and you will get better from time to time. Like most Stoic principles, the way is simple but not easy. Our mind is like a muscle that has to be put under pressure and tested to improve. It will take skill and discipline to separate reliable signals from deceptive ones. What's eventually left is the truth. And for the truth, the struggle is always worth it. Today, in our modern world, the power of perception It's not an old, outdated Stoic principle. You will probably find it in every good business book. For Wall Street brokers, it can be deadly to think emotionally instead of rationally. Applying the right perspective to your problems will give you more options to actually tackle them efficiently in your everyday life. Just because your mind, people, or society tell you that something is bad, it doesn't mean that you have to agree. See clearly how things really are. Act correctly out of your values, not emotions. Change or accept the world as it is. Focus on what is up to you. Thank you very much again for watching this video until the end. As always, I would be very happy and grateful about a free subscription to my channel and leaving a like. And until the next time, stay stoic and keep improving your better mind.